This is a story about how I followed my stolen iPhone across the world, became a celebrity in China, and found a friend for life. Okay, so this story begins long, long ago in 2014 in the East Village. A lot of the time when we finish work, we get drinks. And so we get to that bar and we're having drinks, we're getting a little drunk, and I put my phone down, go on talking to my friends, look back, and my phone's gone. So I do what anyone else does in that situation. I freak the f out, make everyone get up, empty their pockets, look in their coats. My phone, it had to be somewhere. I have my friend call my phone and it goes straight to voicemail. That phone was gone forever. So then the next day I go out, buy a new cell phone and think, okay, that's it. The phone is done, let's move on now. But then things got really strange and kind of creepy. So I'm sitting on my couch a few months later and I see all of these pictures that I didn't take. And then there was like 30 selfies of this man posing very seriously with an orange tree. Right away, the first thought is, my phone got hacked. Most normal people in this position would probably do something about their phone, but for some reason, I didn't. But then one day, I was talking to this one friend and she said, has your phone been stolen lately? And I said, yeah, a couple months ago. And she goes, you know, most stolen iPhones end up in China. And so I was like, my phone must have been in China. So what happened was I never killed that iPhone and my iCloud was still logged into that phone. So basically, it was sending me all of the pictures that were being taken on that phone to my new phone. The Apple guy is like, okay, well, do you want to kill that phone? And I'm like, I guess. It's been kind of fun having these pictures come in all the time, but it's also kind of creepy knowing that my phone is in China and it's like logged into this guy's account and I'm getting all of his pictures. So I kill it. And I ended up writing a story for BuzzFeed called Who Is This Man and Why Are His Pictures Showing Up on My Phone? I go to bed that night thinking, okay, now the story is definitely over. That's when totally hits the fan. I wake up the next morning and I go on my computer and the first thing I go to is Twitter and I look at my mentions and it's from a bunch of little eggs. If you use Twitter, you know that it means that it's someone who's just signed up for an account, and it's hundreds of tweets of people telling me, hey Matt, we're trying to help you find an orange guy. You guys are long lost brothers, you guys need to meet. And then they start sending me screenshots. I was going viral on Weibo, which is basically Chinese Twitter. It's like the top 10 trending topics, and it's all in Chinese, like 2 through 10, and then number 1 is my name, Matt Stapira. So I go into work and I end up joining Weibo, and instantly I get hundreds of thousands of followers, and they're telling me, okay, we're gonna find this guy, you guys are meant to be, this is the greatest love story that we've ever heard of all time. And I'm like, and sure enough, they find this guy who at this time, they had given the nickname Brother Orange. Brother Orange joins Chinese Twitter. We start talking on Chinese Twitter. It's like a public social media romance. We're sending each other pictures and videos every day, and then he invites me to go to China.
2 more days! Yeah!
So I'm telling my bosses, like, you guys don't even understand what's happening. There's this whole other world out there of Chinese social media, and I'm getting thousands of comments on pictures of me holding oranges that I'm posting on the social media. And I'm telling my bosses, you don't understand, I need to go to China. This is like a very big meme there, and I have to go. So that night I get a message and it says, okay, Matt to China is the subject line, and it's like, okay, this is happening. I'm actually gonna go to China and I'm gonna meet this guy, Brother Orange.
If you've ever misplaced your cell phone, you know how it often turns up in the last place you look.
A little over a year ago, senior editor at BuzzFeed named Matt Stapira left his iPhone at a bar in New York City.
That last place turned out to be 7,900 miles away in China.
アメリカに住むマットさんがですね
So I'm on my way to China. It takes me 20 hours to get there. I'm on my connecting flight to Meizhou, and I'm sitting in my seat, and this teenager comes up to me and she starts freaking out. And she's like, oh my God, I can't believe it. Are you Matt? This is so crazy. I can't believe the fate. I meant to meet you on this plane. And I'm like, this has never happened to me before. I can't believe that this girl recognizes who I am. And it was like my first touch with fame until I got off the plane. Oh my God, there's a camera.
Did you see the camera over there? That's for you.
And so we go down the escalator and that's when I see a huge crowd of people.
I feel like Britney Spears.
There are paparazzi everywhere, and they were there for me. So I get my bag and I go through, and then there he is, Brother Orange.
Oh my God, Brother Orange!
And all of these cameras just swarm us. And Brother Orange has this huge bouquet of flowers, and the first thing he goes,
Welcome to China.
Yeah, thank you.
Welcome to Malaysia.
Thank you so much.
and then the news people started screaming at me.
Ni hao.
I don't speak Chinese. I know one thing, so I go, ni hao, ni hao, ni hao, just over and over because I don't know what to do. This has never happened to me before, and I should have learned some Chinese, but I didn't have time. It all happened so quickly.
Wow.
Brother Orange pulls out my cell phone, the one that got stolen, and he hands it to me. And so I go, what happened to this phone? How did you get it? And so obviously he didn't come to the US and steal it. He got it from his cousin who owns a used cell phone shop a few hours away from him.
Still recognize it, right?
It is so weird to see. It was such a long time ago.
We leave the airport and we're being hounded by the paparazzi. They're yelling at us, they're chasing us, and we go up to this SUV.
What is that? That's your face.
Yeah.
That's you.
Yeah, this,
That's so crazy. That is so nice.
and that this is your Chinese name.
你的那个手机，我也在看很多相片啊，哇，都照到，就是很
Could
少
he
用
see
旧
my
手机。
pictures on
但
that
其他人
phone?
的那手机以前也
But he deleted them later.
好多啊。
So we're driving an hour to Brother Orange's hometown, and I don't know if you've ever been photographed or taken video by 30 people while you're eating, but that's what happened to me next.
Okay, so I'm not good.
First of all, I'm not very good at using chopsticks, so it's broadcasted to all of China just how awful I am at using them.
有冇查呢？
This is the most embarrassing thing.
Well, yeah, that's
Great,
good. Yeah.
great.
We check in the hotel, I go up to my room, and I'm just like,
What the is going on? Today is literally the first day of all of this. We're going for a ceremony, but I don't really know what a ceremony means. Last time he was talking about firecrackers and banging drums, which I'm like, all right, sounds cool.
so the paparazzi is all there, and we eat, and we plant an orange tree to signify our Chinese-American friendship. So this begins this week of absolute insanity, of us being followed by the paparazzi constantly. We're taking mud baths together, and let me tell you, there's nothing more awkward than a bunch of people, you're wearing a little hairnet, and you're with some guy that you've never met before, and he's pouring mud all over you while everyone's taking pictures. It's the most awkward thing that I've ever done. We have our own press conference. People are like, I want to sing for you, will you dance for me?
馬屁來條馬都結果了誒。
We're going out to eat. People are putting liquor bottles in front of me, taking pictures of it as if I'm endorsing it. People are coming up to me, handing me their babies, asking me to take pictures with their babies. Let me just remind you that this is all because I lost my cell phone, that any of this is happening. Everywhere we go, there's just people asking to take our pictures, or people asking us for autographs, and we're going to these tea fields, we're riding bicycles together, we're eating and eating and eating. I've never eaten so much in my life. The day is just completely packed full of just craziness until the last day. The last day is when kind of everything changed. Brother Orange had had enough of the media circus, and he really just wanted to show me his restaurant, his home, his parents' home, and just the things that he really cares about in Meizhou. And so that day, he made everyone go away. And so we went to his childhood home, we climbed his childhood tree, and we held a ceremony for his ancestors. One of the things that I learned along this way is that the Chinese have this like very strong belief in fate and destiny. My phone could have ended up with 1 billion people in China, but without it being him and without me having this platform of BuzzFeed, nothing would have ever happened, and my phone would have just been another, oh, that sucks, your phone got stolen story. Everyone says to me, well, how can you be friends with someone if you don't speak the same language? And the first thing I say to them is, what is friendship? Friendship is just a series of shared experiences. And me and Brother Orange had the craziest experience ever. You can't even make it up. It's like Cinderella on speed, except the glass slipper is an iPhone, and it's a fairy tale. It's literally a love story. And then the trip is over. So we go to the airport, and it's just like in the movies, and he walks me right up to the gate, and we have our arms around each other, and we say goodbye, and he's just standing there as I go through security waving, bye, 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 bye. He turned the corner, he's still there, just waving goodbye. That's crazy. I've lived in this world for the past week, and I don't want to leave this world. It's such a I want this world to go on. And so then I think the story's over from there. But as I've learned throughout this whole experience, nothing is ever over.
我们现在去爱莲秀那个
So then, Brother Orange comes to the US.
Please welcome Matt Stepera, all the way from China, Brother Orange.
Me and Bro go on Ellen. We take a road trip to Las Vegas. We meet Britney Spears. He flies to New York. I basically do all the things that he did for me in China, but to him. So he meets my family, he meets everyone I work with. We throw him a big party here at work. So then it's time for Bro to leave. But this time, unlike the other times before, I know not to assume that this is the end of the story, because this is a story that just won't ever die. And it hasn't died. My life has not been the same ever since. I talk to Bro almost every day. I legitimately have a whole other family in China. If you said at the beginning of this that I would be crying at the end of this, I would think that you were insane. It's so surreal, this whole thing has been. It's really, it sounds almost cliche and like I'm forcing this, but I really feel like I understand how the Chinese believe in fate and destiny after this. I really feel like, how could this not be fate?